The air on Deck 9 was cold, dry, and always smelled like metal. Nothing new ever happened here. It was just the lower level of space station ECHO-7 used for storage, repairs, and sometimes sleeping quarters for lower-ranked crew. But today, something was different. It started with a smell. Not a bad smell. Not chemical or sharp. No, this was warm, sweet, spicy, a little smoky. A smell that made even the coldest aliens stop walking and turn their head. Captain Rithza of the Varnik Alliance noticed it first. She was a tall, silver-skinned warrior, with 4 sharp eyes and no time for nonsense. She was walking past the storage hatch when the scent hit her. She froze, her nose twitched. "What is that?" She whispered her assistant, Click-Taka bug-like. Trellian with clicking mandibles, also paused. "I do not know, Captain. But my wings feel warm now. This is odd. I don't like it." Rithza didn't respond. She followed the smell. Step by step, she moved toward the human quarters. Deck 9 was where a few humans from Earth were assigned after recent peace talks. They were quiet, strange, always eating odd things and making jokes during tense meetings. The Varnak didn't fully trust them yet, but this smell. It felt like home, even though Rithza didn't know what home felt like. She arrived outside the human kitchen bay. The door was half open. Warm light glowed from inside. Soft music played, something slow, made with string and voice. And the smell was stronger now. Inside, a human male was standing at a counter. He wore a loose shirt, sleeves rolled up, and steam danced around him. His name tag read, Jack. He stirred something in a metal pot. A thin trail of steam rose, carrying the scent across the hall. Rithza cleared her throat. Loud Jack turned. "Oh, hey there. Can I help you?" "What is that?" she asked slowly. Jack smiled. He held up a cup. "This is tea." "Well, not just tea. It's kwai. A special drink from Earth. Black tea, milk, sugar, spicy slots of them. My dad used to make it every morning." Click-Taka crept closer. "It smells dangerous." Jack laughed. It's just warm and cozy. You want to try some?" Rithza narrowed her eyes. She was trained not to trust unknown substances, especially from species with emotional weaknesses. But her hands were cold. Her bones ached. She had not slept well in days. "I'll try," she said. Jack poured the steaming liquid into a cup and handed it over. Rithza sniffed it carefully. The heat, the scent it, made her feel something strange. She took a small sip. Her 4 eyes blinked at once. Warmth spread from her mouth to her chest. Her muscles relaxed. Her brain slowed down. Not in a bad way, just quiet. Memories of her childhood came to her mind, though she didn't remember thinking of them in years. "What is this sorcery?" she whispered. Jack chuckled. "Told ya, it's just chai. Human comfort in a cup." Click-Taka reached out. "I will taste also." Soon, more aliens appeared. A tall, blue-tentacled Zarn, 2 rock-skinned Molraks, even a shy Glimmerian who usually hid in the shadows. They were all drawn by the smell. Each one took a cup. Each one reacted the same smiles, soft gasps, relaxed shoulders. One Molrak even purred. Jack leaned back against the wall. "Didn't know y'all would like it this much. Guess Earth spices are universal, huh?" Rithza stared into her cup. "This is more than a drink. It affects the brain, the heart, the soul." Jack nodded. "Yeah, that's kind of the point." Then, something strange happened. The station lights flickered. A siren rang out in the distance. Over the speaker, a voice called, "Unauthorized gathering in Sector 9C. Report immediately." Everyone froze. Chai cups in hand, Clyde hissed. Security will arrive soon. Jack sighed. Guess I'm in trouble. Rithsa looked at him. Perhaps. Or, perhaps this drink is too powerful to ignore. She took another sip. Deep. Slow. Thoughtful. You may have started something, human, she said, and I don't think anyone is ready for it. Asterisk, the smell was gone now. The tea was finished. The human named Jack had cleaned the cups. The kitchen was quiet again. But across space station ECH-07, something strange had begun. Aliens were dreaming all over the station. Creatures from different planets were waking up confused. They had seen soft lights. They had heard laughter. They had felt peace. They didn't know why Captain Rithsa stood in the command deck, staring out into space. She hadn't slept all night. Not because of stress or danger, but because of the feeling the drink had left behind. The warmth hadn't faded. Her second in command, Click-Tock, walked in with dark rings under his shiny eyes. I had a dream, he said softly. Are why single quotes ZA turned? So did I. It was beautiful, Click-Tock continued. I saw my eggs hatch. I felt the sun of my home world. I heard my mother's voice. He shivered. But I haven't been to Trelia in 20 years. Rithsa nodded slowly. It is the human drink. Must be. Click-Tock clicked his mandibles nervously. What if it is a weapon? A way to control us? But Rithsa didn't answer. Deep down, she didn't believe that. The human Jack had not forced the drink on anyone. He had smiled, spoken, gently, and shared it freely. Still, they had to be careful. Meanwhile, in the maintenance deck, a group of young Zarn engineers were crowded around a heating unit. One of them, slim and green, whispered, "Did you feel it? The warmth? I didn't want it to stop." Another nodded. "I dreamt of oceans and fireflies. But we don't have." Those on Zarn a third said, "Do you think he'll make more?" They looked at each other. Then, at the small hallway leading to the human section, one by one, they crept toward Jack's quarters. Jack was playing music and tinkering with an old radio. He heard the knock and opened the door. A group of nervous aliens stood there. All different sizes, all different faces. Hello?" Jack asked, blinking. One stepped forward. We want the drink again, please." Jack raised an eyebrow. "You mean the chai?" They all nodded eagerly. Jack scratched his head. "I mean, sure, but I don't have much left. The spices are limited out here." He paused. "Unless you guys can get me some ingredients." A rock-skinned Molrak stepped forward. "We have access to Trade Post 4. We can bring you cinnamon, cardamom, even real milk from Terra Farms." Jack smiled. "Deal?" Word spread fast. Soon, aliens across the station were trading strange things for a cup of Jack's brew. One offered Jack a rare crystal from the rings of Zener. Another gave him a map of hidden tunnels on the lower decks. A Glimmerian left him a pouch of glowing sand that never ran cold. All Jack had to do was brew. And he did. Each cup was made with care, he added. The leaves, the milk, the sugar, and just the right mix of spices. He let it simmer. He waited. He poured it slowly. Each time, the result was the same. Smiles, sighs, peace, soon. The humans on other parts of the station noticed. They came to Jack. "Man, what are you doing?" one asked. "The aliens are all acting weird." Jack shrugged. "I'm just making tea." "Yeah, well, now they're following you around like you're some kind of prophet." Jack laughed. Guess they never had chai before. But not everyone was happy. High Officer Veltor, a strict and powerful Zarn leader, called an emergency meeting. "This drink," he growled, is causing disorder. Aliens are skipping duties, sleeping during shifts, talking about emotions, even hugging. It must be stopped. A few officers nodded, but Captain Rithza stood. I tasted it, she said. And it is not dangerous. It is healing. Perhaps we need it. Beltor narrowed his eyes. You are compromised, Captain. The human is affecting your judgment. Or maybe, Rithza replied, he's helping us feel something we lost. That night, Jack sat alone. Stirring a fresh pot, he looked out the window into space. Footsteps echoed behind him. It was Rithza, still making it. She asked. Jack nodded. Yeah, can't sleep otherwise. Rithza took a seat beside him. For a moment, they just listened to the soft bubbling of the tea. Jack poured her a cup. No words. She drank silence. Then she spoke. They'll come for you soon. The ones in charge. They fear what they don't understand. Jack didn't look surprised. Let them come. I'm not making war. I'm making tea, Rithza chuckled. Softly, a sound no one had ever heard from her before. A strange human, she said. Jack smiled. Maybe, but one cup at a time. I think I'm helping. The air vents of space station ECH-07 began to carry a new kind of whisper. Not just gossip, not just rumors, deals, trades, secrets. Everyone wanted the human brew, and now, not everyone could get it. Jack sat on a crate, wiping sweat from his forehead. His tiny corner kitchen in the storage bay was full of half-empty spice, jars and dented teapots. He had made over 30 cups that day. His hands were tired. His back hurt, but aliens kept coming, each one with pleading eyes, each one offering something. I have moon rocks, said a small Grellan merchant. I'll trade this rare metal coin from pre-void Earth, said another. Jack sighed. Look, I'm not trying to run a business. I just wanted to share something nice. But it was too late. In the shadows of the lower decks, others were watching. A long, sharp-eyed alien named Creel ran a black market operation from an old cargo pod. He dealt in everything stolen tech, illegal data chips, forbidden weapons. Now he wanted something new, something powerful, something addictive. He wanted the tea, not for the taste, for the control. That night, a shaky Glamarian approached Jack. He had dark circles under his glowing eyes. Please, he whispered. They took my last cup. The black market boys said I had to pay them next time. Jack frowned. What? Who? They're selling fake versions, using trash spices. Selling lies. Jack stood, angry. No way. That's not what this is for. The Glimmerian looked down. They said, "We're coming for your recipe." At the same time, in a secret room, Creel stood with 2 bodyguards. He slammed a cup on the table. This is garbage, he growled. It's missing something. It's weak. His assistant nodded. We tried every mix. Still not like the real one. Creel hissed. Then we stop guessing. We go to the source. Next day, Jack was gone. His little kitchen empty. No cups. No kettle, no music. Just a note. Gone for air. Back soon. Jack, but he never came. Back panic spread. Aliens who once laughed and sipped, now whispered in fear. The human is missing. They took him. No more tea. Click-Talk found Captain Rithza in the upper deck. They've taken Jack. She narrowed her eyes. Who? Click-Talk buzzed nervously. We don't know. But the black market dealers are active. There are rumors of a trade ring. They're selling fake brews and controlling people. Rithza's hand clenched around her datapad. Not on my station. In a dark, silent chamber far below the main decks, Jack was tied to a chair, his face bruised, his hands bound. Creel stood in front of him, sipping something from a cup. He spat it out. Still wrong. What's missing? Tell me. Jack laughed weakly. You can steal spices, steal recipes, but you'll never make it right, Creel snarled. Why? Jack leaned forward. Because it's not just tea. It's love. It's memory. It's home. You can't fake that. Creel growled. Wrong answer. He raised his hand, but before he could strike, boom, the door exploded inward. Smoke, lights, shouts. Captain Rithza burst through with a small group of loyal alien guards. Release the human, she said coldly. Creel raised his blaster. She didn't flinch. One quick shot. His weapon flew from his hand. Click-tock scuttled in behind her. We tracked his kettle's heat signature. He hit a beacon in the handle. Rithza cut Jack's ropes herself. You all right? Jack coughed. I've had better days. She helped him up. I owe you one, he said. She smiled. You owe me one more cup. Back at the kitchen, Jack brewed again. This time with help. Click-tock fetched water. A Glimmerian stirred gently. Even the shy mole rack polished the cups, and when the tea was ready, they didn't just serve it. They shared it. No trades, no payments, just stories, laughter, and peace. But in the far corner of the station, Creel wasn't done. He held a broken cup in his hand, eyes glowing with rage. If I can't steal the drink, he whispered, I'll destroy it. Asterisk for 2 days, no tea was made, no warm smells, no soft music, no Jack. He was there live. Safe, but something was wrong. He stared at his spice jars. All empty. Cinnamon, gone. Cardamom, gone. Ginger, clove, black pepperel missing. Even the tea leaves were taken. Jack sat on his bunk. Eyes tired, Click-tock watched silently from the wall. They cleaned you out, he said softly. Jack nodded. Every last pinch. Captain Rithza entered the room. Her voice was sharp. This was not random. Someone planned it. Jack rubbed his forehead. I always lock my cabinet. Only a few know where the key is. Click-tock clicked. Then, we look for those few. A meeting was called. Only trusted crew were invited. They sat around a metal table. Humans, aliens. One robot. Jack dropped a pouch on the table. It was empty. This, he said, was my chai. The group went quiet. Jack continued. Someone stole the spices. Without them, there's no drink, no comfort, no warmth. Rithza leaned forward. Do we know where they went? Click-tock pulled up a map. A glowing red dot blinked on a planet nearby. Trade logs show a smuggler ship left Eco 7 6 hours ago. Cargo marked organic. Earth erosion. Fragile. Jack's face darkened. They're selling the spices. Rithza stood. Then we steal them back. They called the team Jack, the brewer. Click-tock, the tech. Rithza, the blade. Zuri, a silent say. Glimmerian, who could walk through shadows. Gore, a mole rack with fists like hammers. Their target, Zarnath Outpost. A lawless trade hub floating above the desert moon of Kiru. Hours later, their shuttle docked silently under cover of night. The air outside buzzed with noise dealers shouting, engines roaring, strange music thumping. Alien traders stood in tight circles, exchanging illegal tech, rare minerals, and weapons. But the most expensive booth, a glowing tent labeled Exotic Human Spices, Feel the Earth. Inside, rows of tiny glass jars sparkled under neon lights, each one labeled Cinnamon 200 credits, Cardamom 350 credits, Secret Earth Blend, PRICELE CES. Jack's jaw clenched. That's mine. Rithza scanned the area. Too many guards. We need a distraction. Click-tock smirked. On it, he skittered off to the power box. With a few clicks, he overloaded the speakers. Suddenly, the outpost echoed with a deafening blast of Earth pop music, a song called Spice Up Your Life. Aliens screamed, covered their ears. Lights flickered, Zuri vanished into the shadows. Gore charged the front gate, RY single quotes, so kicked down the side door. And Jack ran straight for the spice shelf. He grabbed every jar he recognized. His hands moved fast, eyes scanning for fakes. Then he stopped. One small bag, hidden behind others, his father's handwriting on it. Chai blend from home, with heart. His throat tightened. "Dad!" Rithsa shouted from the hall. "Jack, move!" He turned, just. As guards rushed in, Zuri dropped from above, disabling two with a quiet blade. Gore grabbed Jack by the collar and pulled him through the wall. They ran. Outside, the ship engines were hot. Klytok waved from the pilot's seat. "Let's go." They jumped aboard. Rith. Za sliced the docking clamps. Zuri hit the thrusters. The shuttle roared into space, leaving the outpost behind in flames. Music still playing. Back on ECH-07, Jack stood in his kitchen. He lined up the jars. He held the old bag in both hands, breathed in the smell. Memories hit him. His dad's kitchen, rain on the window, steam rising from chipped cups. He closed his eyes. Then he brewed. Aliens. Gathered silently. No words. Just waiting. The first pot poured. Steam curled into the air like a gentle ugh. Klytok sipped. He sighed. "It's back." Rithsa drank. Her eyes glistened. "Better than before." Jack smiled. "It's not just spices," he said. "It's history. It's family. It's the part of Earth I never wanted to forget." But in the dark corners of the galaxy, Creel watched. A recording played in front of him, footage of the heist. His jaw clenched. "The human thinks he's clever," he growled. A shadowy figure behind him spoke softly. "Do we move to Phase 2? Creel nodded. "Take me to the Queen." The message arrived in the middle of the night. A simple file, no sender, no return code, but Captain Rith knew it was serious the moment she opened it. A video played. A weak alien queen lay on a golden bed, wrapped in shimmering robes. Her skin was dull, her breathing slow. Medical drones buzzed quietly around her. Beside her stood a tall figure. Krel. The message was short. His voice was cold. "The Queen of the Sorari Empire is dying. She tasted your human brew once, a single stolen. SIP. Now she wants one last cup before the end. You will come. You will brew it, or war begins." Jack sat quietly in the command room, staring at the video. "A queen?" he asked. Rithsa nodded. "She rules half the southern systems. If she dies unhappy, the galaxy will burn." Klytok added, "The Sorari are ancient, proud, emotional. They don't forget insults." Jack frowned. "She tasted my chai." Klytok tapped his datapad. Records say she visited ECH-07 once. Months ago, during a trade summit. She walked past your kitchen and stole a cup. Jack gave a low whistle. "Guess it made an impression." Rithsa looked him in the eye. "Will you do it?" Jack sighed. "If it saves lives? Yeah." He picked up his old kettle. "But I'm doing it my way." Their ship landed on the Royal Medical Cruiser Saul's Grace 2 days later. The ship was quiet. 2 quiet golden halls, stretched in every direction. Guards in silver armor stood like statues. No smiles. No words. A servant led Jack and Rithsa into the Queen's private chamber. The room was vast and round, with walls made of living crystal. At the center, on a raised bed, lay the Queen. Her skin shimmered faintly under the lights. Her eyes opened. As they entered, "You," she whispered, "the human, with the warm drink." Jack bowed slightly. Yes, ma'am. Jack Carter. Tea maker, she gave a weak laugh. They told me it was poison. But I felt more alive in that sip than I have in 50 years. Rithsa stood back, watching everything. Jack stepped forward and gently placed his bag on a silver table. He took out his spice jars. The real ones, not for trade, not for power, for peace. He moved slowly, boiled the water, added the leaves. The spices dot the sugar, each motion exact. Each stir like a prayer. The queen watched silently. Her breathing grew slower. Fainter. Jack poured the tea into a delicate glass cup. He carried it to her. She lifted it with trembling hands, took a sip, and closed her eyes. For a moment, the entire room held its breath. Then she spoke. Home. Single word. A tear slid down her cheek. Her head lowered. Her chest stopped rising. Silence. Jack stood still, holding the empty cup. He had seen death before, but never like this. Rithsa stepped forward and placed her hand on his shoulder. She died at peace. Jack nodded slowly. That's what it's for. A few minutes later, a royal advisor entered. His robe shimmered with Sorari symbols. He looked at the queen, then at the human, then bowed deeply. You have done what no weapon could. He said, you gave her peace. For this, the Sorari Empire declares no war will come. We will protect the human brew as sacred. Jack blinked. Wait, what? The advisor smiled. Your drink is now royal property, a gift of emotion, of balance. Only you may serve it, and we will guard it with our lives. Back on ECH-07. Words spread fast. Aliens lined up at the docking windows to watch Jack's return when he stepped off the ship. They didn't cheer. They stood in silence. Respect. Even Creel watched from the shadows. His jaw clenched, his fists tight. His plan to control the drink had failed. The queen had made it holy, untouchable. But Creel wasn't done. He turned to his assistant. Change of plan. We no longer steal it. He smiled darkly. We destroy the one who makes it. Meanwhile, Jack returned to his kitchen. He placed the queen's empty cup on a small shelf next to it. A note, for those who need peace, not power. He looked at the kettle, then at the long line of aliens waiting just outside the door. He smiled. Who's next? Asterix's peace didn't last long. It never does. After the queen of the Sorari Empire passed away with a smile on her face and Jack's brew in her hands, the galaxy paused, just for a moment. But in that silence, others moved, faster, greedier, louder. Every system wanted the drink now, and they didn't want to wait in line. Jack's tiny kitchen on Echo-7 was overwhelmed. Every hour, new ships arrived. Some brought rare spices and asked politely for a cup. Others demanded gallons for their armies. One ambassador offered Jack an entire moon. Another threatened to blockade the station. Click-Talk looked at the crowds and whispered, "This is not sharing anymore. This is war." Captain Rithsa called an emergency meeting. "We must protect Jack," she said. "If the human brew is taken by the wrong hands, it will be used for control. Mind games, even war tactics." Click-Talk nodded. "Already we've seen fake brews pop up on black markets again. Poor quality. Dangerous effects. Some cause hallucinations." Jack sighed. "I just wanted to make something warm, something kind." Rithsa looked at him. "Then let us protect it." But not everyone agreed. A council of powerful trade lords gathered in secret on a hidden asteroid. Station Creel stood at the center. He slammed a data chip on the table. "Enough waiting. The human refuses to mass produce it. He refuses to sell the recipe. He wants peace, but we want profit." A fat lizard-like lord growled. We tried copying it. Still not the same. Another said, we tried bribing the station's cooks. They don't know the secret. Creel bared his teeth. Then we removed the problem. Days later, a strange offer arrived at Echo-7. A shiny silver container. Inside thousands of pre-made packets labeled Chai-Tech Human Brew, perfected. And a note, this is the future. No waiting, no boiling, just power. Sell it or be forgotten. Jack opened one packet and sniffed it. His nose wrinkled. It's close, he said. But wrong. Hollow. There's no soul in it. Click-tock. Scanned it. Synthetic spice. Artificial aroma. Stabilizers. Mind-easing drugs. Rithsa frowned. It's a weapon disguised as comfort. They called it what it was. Fake brew. But many aliens didn't care. They lined up for the new packets. Quick. Easy. Cheap. Why wait for Jack's handcrafted cup when you could press a button? Sales spread across 5 systems in 2 weeks. Jack watched quietly from his kitchen. He didn't shout. He didn't fight. He just brewed. 1 cup at a time. Then came the sickness. Not physical, emotional. Aliens. Who drank Chai-Tech stopped smiling. Their memories faded. Their dreams became empty. They felt calm but not happy. Still but not alive. Click-tock called it emotional flatlining. They've erased the human part, he said. Rithsa stepped forward. Then we show the galaxy what they lost. Jack made a plan. He would brew the real Kuplivon, the universal signal. 1 pot, 1 story. Broadcast across space, they called it. The last real brew. The day came. A camera. Drone hovered over Jack's stove. Aliens across thousands of ships tuned in. No background music. No effects, just the sound of water boiling. Jack began to speak. I'm not a chef, not a warrior. Just a man who missed home. My father made this every morning, even when we had no money. Even when the world felt cold, he'd pour it, sit across from me, and say nothing, because the warmth said enough. This isn't a product. It's a memory. You can copy the flavor, but not the heart. He poured the chai. Steam curled up, soft and golden. Thousands cried watching it. Even Creel's spy wiped a tear before closing the feed. That same night, the Chai-Tech factories were attacked not by humans, but by aliens who remembered what real warmth felt like. Not war. Revolt, the warm ones, a group of aliens. Loyal to Jack's brew took over 3 production hubs. They left a simple message on every building wall. Kindness cannot be bottled. Back on ECHO-7, Jack sat in his kitchen. His hands shook. Did I start something bad? He asked quietly. Rithsa sat across from him, sipping slowly. No, she said. You reminded us what good felt like. The war was already here. Just made people choose. But far away, Creel stood in a secret lab behind him. A metal pod hissed open. Inside was a humanoid clone. Perfectly human, but with no soul. Creel smiled. If I can't control Jack Carter, I'll replace him. The galaxy stood on a knife's edge. Half the systems followed the old way Jack's way. 1 kettle. 1 cup. 1 memory at a time. The other half drank something else quick. Cold, synthetic, Chai-Tech ruled factories and fed empty hearts. It dulled minds, erased emotion, made soldiers calm. Obedient. Jack didn't speak much anymore. He spent his days brewing in silence. Hands slower now, eyes tired. He wasn't just making tea. He was holding the line. Then, the broadcast came. Creel appeared on every signal. Every screen. Every ship behind him stood something terrifying. A clone, human in shape. Jack's face. Jack's voice, but empty eyes. Creel smiled. Meet Jack Carter 2.0. Stronger, faster. No feelings. Just production. He pointed at the camera. The galaxy doesn't need stories. It needs stability. Enough of this cup-bite kindness. Tomorrow, we unveil the brew engine. He held up a bottle. Inside, it swirled a glowing fake liquid. Why? Wait for peace, when you can buy control. On ECHO7, aliens gathered in silence. Klytok's wings twitched. He made a copy of you. Jack just nodded. Captain Rithsa slammed her fist on the table. This is war. He wants to erase the real you, the human part. Jack stood slowly. No, he said. Not war. Klytok tilted his head. Then what? Jack turned. We give them one last cup. The next day, Jack sent out one final signal. One last brew. One last truth. Let them choose. Across the galaxy, ships turned toward Echo-7, not to attack, but to witness. A giant court chamber was prepared neutral ground, known as the Galactic Hall of Balance. Jack entered alone. Holding his old dented kettle. Across the room stood the clone. Identical in face, not in soul. Creel sat behind him, grinning. This is where your little tea party ends, he sneered. Jack ignored him. He walked to the center. There a judge spoke. Human Jack, you may begin. Jack placed the kettle on a small burner. The room was silent. Thousands watched from across the stars. He spoke gently. This kettle belonged to my father. He wasn't a great man. He worked long hours. We didn't have much, but every morning he made this drink. And for 10 minutes we were just two souls. In peace, no machines can make that. No clone can fake it. Oh. Because it's not the tea. It's the connection. That's what you feel when you drink it. That's what Chai-Tech will never understand. Steam began to rise. A warm scent spread through the chamber, soft, sweet, real. Then the clone stepped forward. He held up his bottle of fake brew, opened it, drank, and said, nothing. No smile, no memory, no warmth, just silence. The judge turned to the crowd. You must now choose. The drink made by machines, or the one made by a man. One by one, aliens stepped forward. Some took the real cup from Jack. Others looked at the bottle and turned away. No one chose the clone, not even Creel. His face twisted in rage. You fools, he shouted. Feelings are weakness. You choose. Emotion over power. Jack looked at him. No, he said quietly. We choose to feel alive. In that moment, something unexpected happened. The clone looked at Jack, then at the cup, then at his own hands, and he whispered, I remember something. Everyone froze. Creel shouted, no, you are not real. You are code. But the clone stepped forward. He reached into Jack's bag, pulled out a small jar of cinnamon, opened it, and smiled. I remember the smell. A tear rolled down his cheek. That was the end of Chai-Tech. Not with fire, not with a fight, but with a memory. Later, on ECHO7, Jack opened a small tea shop near the observation deck. No big signs, no flashy lights, just a wooden board that said, one cup, one piece. Aliens still visited. They brought their stories, their hopes, their fears. And Jack listened. He brewed slowly, carefully, lovingly. One evening, Rithsa came by. She sat across from him as he poured a fresh cup. She lifted it, sniffed the steam. Tastes the same as always, she said. Jack smiled. It's not about changing the recipe. She looked at him. Then what is it about? He leaned back, looking out at the stars. It's about making time. for something warm.